I'm Laura Escudé. I'm a music producer and violinist. I'm also a playback engineer. I like both electric and acoustic violins. I have to say that when I'm playing more electronic style music, I prefer an electric violin because I think the effects sound really, really great on them. When I'm playing more chill, more classical style stuff, then I prefer the acoustic violin. So I can't really choose one. Hmm. I don't think I've ever used a carbon bow, so I've always just used wood bow, so I guess I prefer wood.
Okay.
Ooh, I prefer distortion. I just love getting a dirty electric violin sound, just grimy and just creating an atmosphere that makes people go like, "Wow, this is intense and awesome." I love multi-effect pedals. My one of my favorites is the Eventide H9 because there's just so many different effects and they keep adding them and you can just upload new effects all the time. So I tend to go for some multi-effect pedals like that. But there's a lot of pedals that just do one thing really well also. I prefer five string violins. I still have a four string acoustic that was my original violin from back in the day in college, but I haven't touched it in years because I got all five string violins. So I just prefer the feel of the five strings and also just having that low C string really adds an element of surprise when people are listening and they just expect the normal violin tone and register, and then you play the low C and people are like, what is that? Sounds like a viola, but it's not as big as a viola. It's still the same size as a regular violin, so I feel more agile when I'm playing it. I started in the violin when I was about 5 years old. I saw a girl playing in church and I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to play the violin. So started playing classically and got into electronic music when I was in college and started playing with DJs and learning how to play electronically. If I didn't play violin, I probably would love to play the cello because I love just the deep register and the way that it makes me feel. But I also have effects on my violin to make it sound like a cello, and the cello is way bigger to carry around. And I don't know, I want to have to get another airplane seat for my instrument. So I'm happy that I chose the violin. The first song that I learned in the violin was probably Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, as most people do. I studied the Suzuki method, and that was the main song that people learn first. So yeah, Twinkle Twinkle. It's an oldie but goodie. So for many years, I just played classically. I was playing in orchestras. I went to school for violin performance, and my friend's boyfriend was a DJ, and I started going to these clubs and hearing electronic music. And I started wondering, how do I play alongside a DJ or with a DJ? And at first, it was terrible because I didn't know how to improvise. I was a classical violinist. I mean, put a sheet of paper with notes on it in front of me, I could play that. But improvising alongside music that I didn't really know was extremely hard. So I played a lot of really bad things for a long time, and I just kept practicing and like training my ears and learning how to improvise. So, apart from the violin, I also am an electronic music producer. So, I produce all of my own music and I also engineer my own music and I produce music for other people. And I'm also a playback engineer. So, I edit and produce music for live concerts, toured a lot in the pop and hip hop world, and worked on TV shows and all kinds of things. So it's kind of like working in the studio, but for a live concert. So I exclusively use Ableton Live as my DAW. I've used all of them at one point or another, but I actually used to work at Ableton back in 2007 and became certified in Ableton Live. And so I've just, have really stuck with the program, the company, just fell in love with it and haven't really deviated from it since. One of my inspirations in violin is probably Andrew Bird because he does this really interesting violin looping. Also, Zoe Keating, who plays the cello, she's just like the master of live looping, and she was one of the first artists that I saw that I was like, wow, like this is really intricate. And the way that she puts together her songs with the loops and has it, I like to call it arranged live looping. So every song is, it's arranged and she plays it similarly every single time, but the way that it comes out is just perfection. So I'm a big fan of hers. My advice for people that are trying to learn about all this stuff is to really just sit with what inspires you, find a few artists that inspire you, and try to find your own voice. I at first I started trying to copy and imitate other artists as we do when we're just starting out, and then I slowly found my own voice and my own sound from that. So I think it's awesome to just familiarize yourself with all of the techniques and tools and try to imitate other people at first to learn how to do things. And then from there, your own style will develop. Ooh. I don't know any French, unfortunately. I wish that I did, but my last name is actually from the Basque region, but I don't speak any of the language, so unfortunately, I know we. That's about it. And bonjour. That's about
Yeah.
it. I think the first CD that I bought was the Smashing Pumpkins. I'm not quite sure, but it was around that era, back when I was in middle school. Oh God,
It's okay.
yeah,
It's okay.
someone's at my door, so they
Ah,
just left.
yeah.
Oh no, it's just like dropping off a package or something. Are they standing there? Let me see.
Yeah.
Ah.
He's Amazon stuff. Salad or pizza?
I would have to say pizza. Pizza's awesome. And also croissants.
You have two words in French.
Right,
Croissant, yeah.
exactly. Yes. Oh, on my computer?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I just have a really boring wallpaper. I never really even look at it. So some people have fun stuff, but it's really boring. It's just like blue. I like blue though. See. When I create, I usually come up with some sort of melody first, and then I try to build around that and add synthesizers and beats and effects and things like that. But oftentimes I'll just create sitting down with my violin and coming up with, a few lines and then trying to layer those and see where that takes me. So I'm working on new music. I'm constantly reinventing myself. But I've been doing some what I call future classical live looping. So it's classical influenced, but with synthesizers and beats. And I'm working on some new music with that, and different collaborations with people. And then I don't know what else, but a lot of fun stuff I'm sure is going to come up soon.